45, fitting like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. I can never trick with a kiss on my lips like, I am not I'm a man with a gift and I'm doing my shit like.
I'm Kenyatta Wright, Director of Football Business. We got our new cowboy here. Why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Sitiveni Kaufusi. I play defensive line, transfer in from UCLA, born and raised in Hawaii, and yeah, I'm a grad student, my final year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, man, you know I can't pronounce that name, right? So tell them what we calling you.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys call me Veni. So I get called, I know Tongan. You don't get much Tongans in Oklahoma, so yeah, I know it's hard. But surprisingly, it's been better than the places I've been before. A lot of people here know how to pronounce my name, which is crazy. But
yeah. So we get on Google and say translate and tell us.
Yeah.
And so then you got to listen real good so we can make sure we don't mispronounce your name in recruiting.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but it was good. Yeah, I'm surprised how much people knew my name, or knew how to pronounce it correctly, and I'm just
And we got Benny too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, oh, Benny. Yeah, a lot of people. It's surprising how much people know Tongan.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. So, man, if we were to ask the question, who is Benny? What would you tell us?
I'd say for me, I think first of all, I'm a caring person. I'd say, obviously thankful for my parents for all of that. Mm-hmm. They really taught me to love unconditionally, and I think that's really carried me throughout my life. So I'd say first of all, I'm a caring person. I feel like I have a high character, high integrity person. Like, it's very hard for me just to lie and live my life, saying that to the people I love most and just the people around me, because I feel like I like to be authentic and let people know who I really am, so that, because that's what I want from other people. I want always want the truth. I always want people to be themselves around me, and that's really I'd say who I am.
Yeah. And to stay on that, character and loyalty and authenticity is that the cowboy culture, we always talk about it. Everybody outside of here thinks it's just a motto, but that's something that really affected you on your visit to come to the point to where you felt like this was home. Because you had a lot of options.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of options still to the day that you got here. People trying to call you and sign you, but kind of that was something that, will you talk a little bit about that? Yeah,
so, obviously I kind of got into the portal a little later than, like maybe a week or two later than when it opened. But it was, for me, like, I just wanted, like, going back to the high character, high integrity thing, I wanted to make sure I finished all my studies first, and so that I can, make sure I got my part done where I was at, where my feet was at. So I made sure to get that done, and then right when I turned in my last paper, I got into the portal, and then from there on, it was like right when I got into the portal, I was getting calls from. It was a lot of Big 12 schools. It was like and then even the next morning, like I had to drop off my girlfriend to work and stuff. And then on the way there, I was getting calls, and I was like, okay, I got to get these calls real quick. And it was just like throughout the whole process, for me, it was just making sure that I was close with or felt close to the coaching staff. So. Going back to sorry, I forgot what the question was.
I was just saying how that made you make your decision here, because you had a lot of opportunities even after you were going to leave here.
Oh, yeah. So, for me, because like I said, I got into the portal late, but then what really stood out to me from OSU was obviously because Benny was the first one to contact me, and then he was just texting me every day, and he was telling me, like, it wasn't necessarily things I wanted to hear, but it was things that I felt like going back to like my character, like it's like it felt like the truth, like it felt like an open book, like kind of how like you're saying, and that to me, like I didn't experience that in my my previous college or even high school sometimes, and to me it just felt like that's when like it started to feel like it was a dream to me, because I'm like, there's no way there's like a place like this that's so open and so caring. And from that on, like every time I got calls from other places, it almost felt like rude for me, because I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, like, okay, yeah, I hear you, but we'll take this, we'll try and take my time on this visit or on this recruiting process with them. But when anytime I got a call from OSU, or if I was talking to Benny or Coach Osborne, our D-line coach, when he would contact me, it just felt like they were like just so open with me, and it was kind of inviting for me, and that's really the thing that stood out for me, was just that culture here. And obviously throughout the visit, I seen it, meeting you, and just meeting fans coming up to me, and it was like a winter break. It's like there's barely anyone here, but they noticed that I was a recruit, and just the things that they said to me, it shows how much they love football here, how much they love the players here. And I only took this visit on the during my recruiting process, and then after there was like 3 or 4 other schools that kept trying to call me at the same time, but I was like, going back to I just wanted to be respectful to everybody, and immediately I just shut it down at the end of the visit. So
yeah. And when you were here, when we had our dinner at Miso, and you were talking about, coming from Hawaii, you was really, really high-rated recruit on the offensive side, but coming from Hawaii and then coming to UCLA, that all you wanted was a place that you could enjoy it, focus on football, and you couldn't believe like a place in Oklahoma would be the place that you would play at.
Yeah, so that was a crazy part. I wished, I keep telling people here, I think people are tired of me saying it, but I wish that that OSU like saw me when I was in Hawaii, but we're like pretty far from Oklahoma, so it's understandably so. But I hope that they build a connection there. I think a lot of guys would love that, kind of like me, where straight out of high school, that was just a dream for me, was to play in a place that really loved football, and like football was like life, and because that's what it is for me, and that's what brought me into college, was through football. So it was just it just felt like a dream. Like I couldn't believe like how caring you guys were. Like you guys were everything like that I wanted, coming out of high school, like that shit like comes, brings me to tears, because it's just like, it's just crazy. It just felt like a dream to me. But, that kind of like, that fires me up, every day. Like I just want to give my best, not just for you guys, but, the fans that, have made this place what it is, the people before this. And I've never been so proud to be, a part of a school. So
yeah, man, that's really awesome. And as an alum and as a player that play here, and being in part of your visit, like it fired me up to really realize, like, man, sometimes we don't really understand the impact that we really could have in Stillwater on guys that we may be scared to recruit. We're not saying scared to recruit, but all the way from Hawaii. And now, obviously, we're recruiting the #1 tight end in the country. He's from Hawaii. And when we bring him here, obviously, we got to talk to him, because it's like we kind of shelter ourselves sometimes. And we've won a lot of games, or, it's easy for us to kind of say, this is how we're supposed to be. But at the end of the day, when you came in, it was like, man, it's wow. And so appreciate you sharing that and sharing it with our fans and people that make this place great, And so next thing is, obviously, your girlfriend, you talked about, she came and works for the Lakers, big in the community stuff. And like I told you, I wanted to have her come back this spring and, kind of help us out and like being more active in the community. Because you guys are, man, you're a finance guy. And so like you're a power couple. But tell us about, just about her, and then, a little bit about your upbringing in Hawaii.
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest things that in my life was meeting my girlfriend. I felt like that's like I say it all the time too. Like that, I felt like that's when my life began, and I met her when I was like around 21 at UCLA when she graduated from there. But right now she's working for the Lakers, and she's doing really good there, and she's hoping to keep progressing, being part of the community outreach team at on the Lakers. But she's doing well there. Obviously, I wanted her to come with me here. But I mean, like with the opportunity that she has and what she's doing in LA, I said, you have to keep going. Like, if I had the many years to stay here, I'd probably push her to maybe come over here, and try to talk to Kenyatta and ask you if there's
she can take my place.
No,
She's good. She's really good.
She's really But and have like if that was the case, if I was here for a longer time, I'd want her to be here. But she's doing great there, and I'm super proud. I'm lucky. I feel like I'm the breadwinner having her. So I'm a lucky guy, I'd say, for that. But for me, growing up in Hawaii, I didn't come from a rich family. We had 4 siblings, and it was just my dad working at the time when we were kids. So he's a professor at the University of Hawaii. He's a molecular biologist over there. But it sounds good on paper, but you don't make enough money to raise 5 kids in Hawaii. So it's like he had to work extra jobs, and then when we all got up to age, old enough, my mom ended up trying to help in any way that she could as well. But I'm just growing up in Hawaii, I've been very grateful for everything they've done, and I hope one day to repay them. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So ending up, you're here for a short time. How do you want to be remembered as an Oklahoma State Cowboy?
Yeah, honestly speaking, I know it's a big thing, but I want to be remembered as the best defensive player that came out of here. Just with the people like Des Bryant, Barry Sanders, Tyreek Hill, like a lot of these players that I grew up watching. It just that inspires me, and that was obviously part of the reason why I came here to OSU, because you know that great players come out of here, great people come out of here, and I want to be remembered as like names that are up there, and be the best player that came out of OSU, because obviously also too because of the people here. Like I want to show, and I know that that I can, with my best, like I'm able to make everyone around me proud, and that's all I want to do. I want to be remembered as one of the best out, and leave a legacy that that even though a player from Hawaii, just from Hawaii coming out to the South here to Oklahoma, and really affecting in a positive way, not just on the field but off the field. I feel like that'd be I can leave here with a smile on my face. So.
Well, man, that's awesome, and man, I hope to get to meet your parents, and or even if I don't meet them, I'm gonna call them and tell them they've raised a great young man, and we're glad you're a Cowboy. I'm telling you.
No, I'm super happy, and I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah, well, man, I know you are busy and probably got to get to Rob Glass next. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
man.
you. Yeah, appreciate you.
Man with a gift, and I'm doing my shit like